All right, let's get into it. Have you ever felt like your office is, well, haunted? Not with ghosts, but with tech that just decides to act up for no reason. The Wi-Fi is flying one minute and totally dead the next. Or that super important video call freezes right on your face. It's a huge pain, a real mystery. But what if I told you that you could be the detective that finally cracks the case? So today, we're diving into a really hands-on part of a much larger investigation. This is part 8 of a 10-part tutorial, and it's all about how you can identify the source of these frustrating tech problems. And we're getting our playbook straight from a deep dive report on radio frequency interference from the real pros over at RFI Detectives.
And these are the folks you want to listen to. RFI Detectives, a part of Virtualization Options LLC, are the experts who literally hunt down these invisible forces that wreak havoc in our workplaces. And today, we're going to learn some of their best tricks.
So, does any of this sound familiar? You're trying to send a huge file, and it just crawls. Your wireless mouse suddenly starts jumping all over the screen. That printer in the corner? Yeah, it's decided to give everyone the silent treatment. These aren't just random tech meltdowns. Nope. They're clues, and they're all pointing to one invisible culprit.
And that culprit is called radio frequency interference, or RFI. Just think of it like invisible static that's constantly floating through the air, being put out by all kinds of electronics. You can't see it, you can't smell it, but you can definitely see what it does to your devices. And because it's invisible, everyone just ends up blaming the Wi-Fi router when the real problem is something else entirely.
Now, you're probably thinking, okay, do I need a degree in electrical engineering and a van full of fancy gear for this? And the answer is absolutely not. The amazing thing about the report from RFI Detectives is that it gives us a toolkit full of simple, low-tech methods that pretty much anyone can use. It's not about the expensive equipment. It's all about having a smart, systematic approach.
And here they are, our 3 main detective methods. First up is just systematic observation, basically paying really close attention to when and where these glitches happen. Second is the classic unplug method, good old-fashioned process of elimination. And third, and this one is my personal favorite, is a really clever hack called the AM radio trick.
Okay, this next technique is just brilliant in its simplicity. The AM radio trick is your secret weapon. It's a shockingly effective way to track down all that electrical noise that so many devices, from cheap phone chargers to flickering fluorescent lights, are quietly pumping into your office airwaves.
So what is it? Well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You use a basic, battery-powered AM radio to literally hear the invisible interference. The best way to think about it is like a Geiger counter for electrical noise. See, faulty electronics radiate these invisible fields, and it just so happens that an AM radio is perfectly tuned to pick up that energy and turn it into audible static. So cool.
And using it couldn't be easier. Step 1, just grab any old portable AM radio. Step 2, tune it to a spot on the dial where you don't hear a station. All you should hear is that fuzzy static. Then you start your investigation. Just walk slowly around the area where all the tech problems are happening. As you get closer to a device that's spewing out RFI, that static in your ear is going to get a lot louder. It's a fantastic way to pinpoint things like a bad power adapter or a faulty monitor.
But look, even the greatest detectives know when a case is getting too big for them. What happens if you've tried these low-tech methods and you're still hitting a wall? Or what if you think the source is actually coming from outside your office? Well, that's when a smart detective knows it's time to call for backup.
And this quote from the report is just the perfect example. Get this. An office was dealing with crazy interference for months. They tried everything inside their own space. But the real culprit? It was a licensed ham radio operator, totally legally, just doing his thing in his apartment 2 floors up. There is no way they would have ever found that without bringing in an expert with specialized gear.
And that's the key takeaway here. Knowing when to stop and call an expert is a skill. Honestly, trying to solve a really complex RFI problem by yourself can burn through weeks of your time and waste a ton of money on solutions that don't work. Calling a professional isn't admitting defeat. It's the smartest, most strategic move you can make when the trail goes cold.
All right, so let's tie all of this together. We've gone over the symptoms, we've unmasked the invisible culprit, and we've looked at the tools in our toolkit. Now let's wrap this up into a simple, memorable action plan that you can use.
Here it is, your RFI Detective Framework. It's just 4 simple steps. First, understand the symptoms. Recognize that those weird tech glitches might actually be RFI. Second, identify the source using those low-tech methods we talked about. Third, mitigate. Try to fix what you can with simple steps. And finally, number 4, escalate wisely. Know when it's time to call in the pros. So there you have it. You've got the playbook. Now you know that those maddening tech problems aren't just random. They're clues. Clues to a case that you are now fully equipped to investigate. The next time your Wi-Fi drops, you'll know what to do. So the only question left is, what's the first clue you're going to hunt for?